Hello students, welcome back again to your online social science class Being Logical with Tanushree ma'am. Today we are going to discuss the topic from your civics portion, okay? The topic from your chapter 3 from your NCERT book and second chapter of your syllabus, Constitutional Design. Okay. In my previous video, the topic that we have discussed, the path towards making of a constitution, in that video I mentioned the name of the Constituent Assembly, right? The Constituent Assembly definitely is one of the most essential part of making our constitution. Today in this video lesson, we are going to discuss about the Constituent Assembly. Okay, so let's begin. In this video, while discussing Constituent Assembly, we are going to discuss the topic on basis of this points. The definition of Constituent Assembly, the backdrop or need, why Constituent Assembly was needed in India. Next, the structure. What is the basic structure of the Constituent Assembly? And the work. What were the work that it had done for us, and whether it's a successful or not. Okay. So before starting this, let's first discuss the definition of the Constituent Assembly. What is Constituent Assembly? In a sentence or in a simple word, if I have to say about Constituent Assembly, I will say that Constituent Assembly is a group of a people, or better say is a group of a representative who are assembled to draft or to adopt a constitution. Clear? So it's basically a political body. We can say that because it consisted the representative of the people, right? It have the people who are the representative. Okay, the members of the Constituent Assembly is the representative of the people, right? And what was the purpose of them? To draft a constitution. Clear? Okay. Now, so the definition is clear. Definition is a political body or a group of a representative who came together to draft or to adopt a constitution. Okay. Next, backdrop or need. What is the need of a Constituent Assembly in India? Definitely, from its definition, we know that for a drafting of the constitution, right? But now let's discuss about in a practical way. Okay, let's make it more realistic. In India, where we can say so much diversity among the people, their caste, religion, social structure and all. In this scenario, to have a guideline for a country who, or better say a guideline for a government who will govern in a such way where it's every citizen counted to that government as same. It's definitely really a tough job. And to solve this problem or to draw a guideline to govern the country or to govern its own people, that's why we need a Constituent Assembly. Because to making a constitution, we have to involve all those problems that the India was facing that time. Okay, because if you're not solving those problems, it is not possible to have a proper or there's a practical guideline for the government to govern. Clear? Okay, next move to the structure. What is the structure of the Constituent Assembly? What was the structure? Before going to that, let's discuss some of the data related to it. The Constituent Assembly, the election of the Constituent Assembly was held in July 1946. Okay, that means I already said that the members of the Constituent Assembly is a representative of the people, right? To gather those representatives, there is election. And that incident or that thing was happened in July 1946. Because that time the British had already decided that they have to leave the country. And being a member or being a people from the first world country, they know that if they have to leave our country, they have to hand over the power or hand over the charge of our country to a certain people who can, they have to do it in a systematic way. They cannot just leave with in a one day and it's not happen. They have to maintain some they have to maintain some rituals. Okay, for that they will be definitely need a proper system in which they will hand over the charges. Clear? So that's why they are definitely need, and with this thing they have realized also that in the independent India definitely will need a constitution. Okay, that's why to make this constitution, it was the initiative of the British to create the Constituent Assembly, and to collect the members of the Constituent Assembly they organized an election. The election was happened in July 1946. Okay, it was an undivided India. Okay, keep this thing in your mind. B.R. Ambedkar appointed the chairman of the drafting committee. Drafting committee means Constituent Assembly. Okay, so B.R. Ambedkar was the chairperson of the drafting committee. Okay, after the committee was made, the first meeting that the committee had in 1946 December. Clear? Okay, another thing, that time it was as a whole Constituent Assembly. Okay, there is no division. In that time when it decided that okay, India will get its independence, but after the division, India will divide into two countries, India and Pakistan. That time Constituent Assembly was also divided into two parts. Okay, one portion was going to draft constitution for India, and another group will be drafting for the Pakistan. Clear? Okay. The drafting committee for drafting the Indian constitution, the member of that committee is 299. Okay, so from the structure what we get, its member, the number of the member, and this number and the 299 members are elected from the various provinces of India. It's nothing that they are selected or they elected from some of the provinces. No, they are selected from various provinces of India. Okay, now how it's work. All the selected representative of different states are come together, and they are having a several time. They are having discussion of the several times that how our independent constitution should be look alike and how it's work. It took place. The meeting took place several times, and they have decided that our Indian constitution will have some of the principles that I already discussed in my previous video. Okay, the drafting of the constitution was completed on 26th of November 1949. Okay, so what will be our constitution? The draft of the constitution was completed in 26th of November 1949. Okay, and the constitution was adopted. The constitution was enabled or implemented on 26th of January 1950. Okay, that's why to make this day a remarkable, we consider this day as our Republic Day. Clear? India became Republic on that day when our constitution was adopted. Clear? Okay. Now how it's worked. So it's clear that how it's worked. All the members of the Constituent Assembly are come together. They are having several times of meeting. They are discussing several principles of the constitution, how our constitution should work and all. And they finally make the draft in 26th of November 1949, and the constitution was enacted or implemented in 1950. Clear? Now, whether it's successful or not. If you can see in many countries that people are not always satisfied with his own constitution. They are sometimes revolt against his own constitution because they wanted certain kind of changes in their own constitution. But in terms of India, we are lucky, or we can say that it's a great achievement for the makers of our constitution, that this kind of incident in a larger way or in a larger margin does not happen. So definitely why we are able to make a constitution which is effective and which is acceptable by the most of our country. There are some reason behind it. First reason is that the constitution expressed a broad consciousness of its time. The Constituent Assembly represented the people of India. The constitution not only held the philosophy of its the members only. For an example, the people who were elected from the Uttar Pradesh, that person not only gave his idea, he also represent the problems and the solution for its own state and for the people who belong from Uttar Pradesh. And at the same time, he delivered or he bring a broader aspects of that time into the constitution. He was successful to. That's the main reason that our constitution was accepted by its own countrymen in a larger way. Next, assembly was dominated. Okay, now the different kind of opinion included. Next, why it was successful? Because it is actually involved many kind of opinions. That time, the Constituent Assembly was largely dominated by the Indian National Congress. Why is it? Because that time Congress was the only political organization. Okay, but obviously the most of the people will come definitely from that group or from that organization. But still, Congress accept many opinions. Sometimes it will against of them, sometimes it's favor of them. Okay, so because of that, because of including lots of opinion, the purpose of the Constituent Assembly was successful. Okay, the Congress included a variety of political groups and opinions. At the same time, the different people from different languages, groups, caste, religion, and occupation are included in the Constituent Assembly. They are the people who belong from almost every religion, belong from almost every caste, and more or less every section of the society. Okay, that's why there is a lots of diversity itself in the Constituent Assembly. So the people are able to express or able to give the solution of the problem that they are facing into their day-to-day life. Next, the Constituent Assembly worked give sanctity to the constitution. It works actually a systematic way. It accepted everyone's opinion. Everyone's view and ideas. It's nothing that they assembled everything and just drafted the work or drafted their ideas. Okay, that's why everyone's voice was included in our constitution. That is the success of our Constituent Assembly. Okay, that's why the Constituent Assembly is actually, the work of the Constituent Assembly is actually, we can consider it as successful. Clear? Okay. Now, because of let's just look at this. Let's give a revision, a quick revision first. Let me start this way. Okay. So, the election of the Constituent Assembly was held in 1946. The first meeting was held in 1946 December. The member of the Constituent Assembly is 299. The Constitution adopted on the 26th of November 1949. The Constitution enacted on 26th of January 1950, the day that we celebrated as Republic Day. The Constitution expressed a broad consciousness of that time. It's not only expressed the feeling of the or the idea of the people. They mainly express the idea of the peoples. Okay, a larger people, other group they are represented. Okay, and it was it definitely was dominated by a single political party, but they accepted or they included different opinions, different religions people, different language spoken people, and different caste and different section of the society. And finally, it's actually work in a very systematic way. They give the permission that everyone should place their ideas and their views. That's why we are having world's biggest written constitution. Okay, because we have to give validity to everyone's idea or views. That's why our constitution is a little bit bigger if we compare to the other constitution. And at the same time, we can see that the time in the time of the independence, where the caste system was very much, deep, was very much enrooted in our society. That time, having a person named Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he's actually belong from a lower caste society. He's actually belong from a lower caste. For making a Dalit, okay, making him as a chairman of the drafting committee is a very big step at that time that India was taken. Okay. So, dear students, I have already discussed about the Constituent Assembly's definition, how it's work, its structure, whether it's successful or not, what was the need of it, etc. Okay. So let's have a quick recap. Okay. The definition of the Constituent Assembly, what it is, the group of a representative of people who assemble for drafting of a constitution. Okay. The election to the Constituent Assembly held in July 1946. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was appointed the chairman of the drafting committee. The constitution adopted on 26th of November 1949. The constitution was enacted or implemented or adopted on 26th of January 1950, the day that we celebrated as Republic Day. And the constitution reflects the best minds of the country. Its members represented the mini India. It not ensured the interest of a certain group of people. No, it actually referred or is actually addressed to the interest of the all the citizens of our country. Okay, and here the success of the Constituent Assembly to draft a constitution who govern all the people, irrespective of their caste, their society structure, their financial background, and everything as equal is actually the success of the Constituent Assembly. Okay. So dear students, based on today's video lesson, I'll give you some questions. Okay, do write down the answer of these following questions in your civics copybook. Okay, here are the questions. Question number 1: who was the chairman of the drafting committee? Question number 2: on which date Constitution was adopted? Question number 3: how many members were there in the Constituent Assembly? Question number 4: on which day India became Republic and why? That means why we consider that day as a Republic Day. Okay, so this is it for today. I hope that this video is helpful to you and help you to understand the chapter in a better way. Okay, so stay in home, continuing your study properly. Hope you all are fine, and do visit the school website regularly. Okay, and most important thing, another thing I need to remember you again is that do read your text properly. Okay, do read your textbooks properly, and at the same time take care of yourself and your family members. Okay, thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.